A petition calling for Wolves to reconsider their ticket prices for next season has now got more than 10,000 signatures. It's after the club revealed last week that tickets in some parts of Molineux will increase by up to 131%. Here's some of the reaction that we've had from Wolves fans here on BBC Radio
These
WM.
prices are just unrealistic, and regardless of any letters or any articles or any columns, I cannot see how anybody can justify these prices.
It's way above any fan's realistic expectations of what a ticketing price increase is reasonably should be. As far as I'm concerned, as chair of the trust, I will not be renewing my season ticket in protest.
Really proud of how the Wolves fan base have come together as one. Because it's so easy to ignore these sort of things sometimes as football fans. But a lot of people have had their say, and it shows now that almost all the Wolves fans are singing from the same hymn sheet.
Well, writing on the club's website, owner Jeff Shee stressed commercial growth is vital for the club, adding, "We do listen to fan feedback and we understand that price increases are unpopular, but our aim is to ensure our prices are neither significantly higher nor lower than our peers." 7 Wolves fan groups have released a joint statement to share their frustration at this price rise, and one of them is the Always Wolves Fan TV and podcast founder Dazzling Dave, and he's with us on your breakfast show now. All right, Dazzling.
Good morning. How you doing, mate? Thanks for having us on.
Good morning. Yeah, good, thank you. I'm sorry it's in under such circumstances, such contentious circumstances. What's been your reaction then to these price rises?
Well, obviously, the last week has not been a great one in Wolves history. Obviously, all the fans have commended Wolves for what they've done recently with the mental health, along with the foundation, of course, the VAR statement. But of course, the statement in the Express and Star from Jeff Shee was very, very confusing. Part of what he said was obviously, if you want to win trophies or European football, Wolves might not be the ideal choice. Obviously, it's a competitive nature, and it's suggested on mediocrity, and you've got a choice on whether you support your club or not. And that's sort of taken away the dreams and aspirations and hopes of supporters, which was concerning on the one hand. And then on the other hand, you get the straight after that, which is basically saying mediocrity. You've got the season ticket rise that's come, which is just astronomical, really, ranging from 17% for adult tickets upwards to over 100% for under 14s and disability groups, which is just it's just shameful, really. And it's one thing that's united the fan base in horror and disgust, and as you say, all the major fan channels and fan groups have come together to try and implore Jeff and Wolves to rescind this horrific increase. They say that they're listening to the fans. Well, we really hope that they will be. As you say, the ticketing petition has now reached over 10,000 in just a few days. That shows how quickly it's got to 10,000, how much everyone's united behind that. And I believe there's another statement and letter going into Jeff this morning, pointing out the fact that the various fan groups and media channels have now got over 10,000, and they're also, obviously, the fan base are very confused and angry in the way the communication and price rises have played out. And then the subsequent radio silence, and the statement will go on to say that strongly encourage Jeff to open lines of communication and set out an action plan as to how this situation will be resolved. And again, on this statement, we're urging in the strongest possible terms to reconsider the approach to pricing strategy to protect the club for the future generations. The fans, of course, are the lifeblood of any club, and we don't want to price out, obviously, younger, aspiring Wolves fans that will eventually, of course, spend lots of money with Wolves, supporting them through their lifelong passion.
Well, Dave, after 8 o'clock on the breakfast show, we're going to be hearing how ticket prices are on the rise for all Premier League clubs, looking at the wider issue. So are Wolves just following the trend?
Well, obviously, we understand the club wants to grow commercial revenues. It's rumoured, strongly rumoured, that the Wolves' new sponsor on the front of the shirt is going to be someone called something called Dabet. Obviously, in a couple of years, shirt sponsorships with betting is going to be outlawed and banned by the Premier League. So from what I've heard, is that they're going for this for the next couple of years because that's where they can get something like 5 years revenue in 2 years. What a great statement that would have said. We've had to go with a betting sponsor, but we've frozen season ticket prices. And the other thing as well, it's not just about obviously the ticket prices that are going up. It's about the plan. What's the plan for Molineux? There are people that sit. It's particularly in the Steve Bull stand. The match day experience is very, very poor. What's happening to the development of the infrastructure of Molineux, the improvements of Molineux? You know, you walk around Molineux and you see it looking tired and tatty, paint dripping off. It's, you know, we're proud of our club and our stadium, and we have fans and people from all over the country come to Molineux and all over the world, and then it just looks, you know, very, very tired. Things like that. There's no sort of like plan when you're paying your money. We're investing into the club. The club are asking us as supporters to invest in the club. Where's the investment in the infrastructure? But the price rises, regardless of anything, are just, you know, even at the height of inflation, it's way above what the height of inflation was, even though, and it's now down to just over 2%. People are struggling. I've had many, many messages, and we've all had many, many messages about how families and people cannot afford to renew their ticket, and going down to Molineux on a match day for some people is the only bit of joy and pain watching Wolves that they have. It's a social experience, and I've had messages from people that have been supporting Wolves for over 50 years that are not renewing because they can't afford to it. Families, you think about like a mom and a dad taking their son and their daughter to a game, and the price rise that they've got to, and then they expect you to pay for kits and shirts and merchandise as well. Well, obviously that's going to go because people.
Well, Dave, let me finally ask you, Dave. Talking about taking a stand, are you going to buy a season ticket for next year if the prices aren't lowered?
Well, that's a choice for everyone to take. Some people, like myself, I can afford probably to buy a ticket, but it's not just about people like me. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to pay the extra £110. I'd have to pay it reluctantly. It's about the whole fan base, people that can't afford it, the youngsters, the families, the disabled people that have got to pay over 100% increase. The club really needs to listen to the fans. We are united as one. Everyone's up in arms about it. Everyone's not happy with the increase. They need to, if they are listening, they need to take action. At the end of the day, when you look at a manager and dressing room, when they lose the dressing room, often the manager goes. You know, you don't want to lose the fans. You don't want to lose the fans because then obviously the board have to make a decision on the leader of the ship. And we're hoping that the leader of our ship, our chairman, Jeff, is listening and really listening. And, you know, everyone makes mistakes and mid-judges the mood. And you have a lot of respect for people that own it and put their hands up and go, we've got this wrong. We're listening. We're going to make changes, and we want to start hearing, because we're not hearing anything from Wolves over the last 2, 3, 4 days. We've not heard anything else from the chairman, and we're hoping that he does open lines of communication to get this issue resolved, because at the end of the day, we want to be proud of our club. We will give credit to the owners where they've done good things, such as like raising the VAR issue and what Wolves have done with the mental health. But when things are wrong, you know, even the most mild fans, like myself, probably, I'll consider myself a bit of a happy clapper, really. We're all angry.
We can hear your disappointment. Dazzling, Dave, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you very much for your thoughts and joining us on The Breakfast Show this morning. Dave, founder of